All right, hi everyone. I'm Jeff. I'm going to walk you through my classic bookshelf. So to start off with, I have not read this one. Truman Capote's Breakfast at Tiffany's. Would like to read that. We have, so I lead a classic book club, and we'll be reading A Christmas Memory by Truman Capote in December. But I have not read Christmas Breakfast at Tiffany's. So this bookshelf, this middle shelf here. So this is where I keep my classics. It's a little bit of a mixture of my to be reads or TPRs, and I've also included some that we have read in the book club. I'm not gonna go through each one. There's James Fenimore Cooper, The Pioneers. This looks like an early interesting novel. Penguin Classics. I have not read this one yet. And I have not read this next one. Dante's The Divine Comedy, Volume 3, Paradise. So this is also Penguin Classic. Okay, this next volume, Charles Dickens, Greenwich Unabridged Library Classics Illustrated. So I got this from my grandmother. So this one has Great Expectations, Hard Times, Christmas Carol, Tale of Two Cities. So I've read Great Expectations. That's a really good story. And Christmas Carol. I don't know if I've read all of Tale of Two Cities, and I have not read Hard Times. Okay, the next book. These are some of my favorites. So this is Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's The Complete Sherlock Holmes, Doubleday edition. This was my dad's edition. So let's see what year these were published. The latest published date I'm seeing on here is 1934. Yeah, it's definitely an older book. Possibly the 50s. These are sets 1 and 2, so I really enjoy those. I have two books from Emily Dickinson, Collected Poems of Emily Dickinson and Emily Dickinson on Love. I have not read those yet. This next one I have up here, Alexander Dumas' Count of Monte Cristo. So I've read part of this. This is actually the abridged version, so I may, if I read it, try to read the long version. Great Gatsby. So in my book club, this was one of the first books that we did. I really like this. So this edition is a Scribner and Sons from, this is a 1953 printing. So I really like these editions. And then also I have Tender as the Night. Okay, let's see. Let's scoot over here to the Fagles. The Robert Fagles translation. So probably been 15 years, but I have read the Odyssey translation of really enjoyed that. Now, I have not read this all the way through, or the Aeneid by Virgil. So those are definitely on my to-be read list. Okay, and then we have Greek tragedy here. It's the Penguin Classic. I have not read that one. Oops. So Anne Frank, this is one of my favorites. So this is the definitive edition. So this, we did this in the book club that I lead, the Classic Book Club. So the definitive edition restores information that was originally removed from the originally published diary as it was deemed too sensitive, but this restores that information to give you a clearer picture. So this is one of my favorite books. I've read that many times. Okay, this next book is John Irving, A Prayer for Owen Meany. So I read this in college. I haven't read that since then, so let's see what version this is. William Morrow and Company, hardback. Let's see. We'll put the C.S. Lewis together. So we have 3 from C.S. Lewis, actually. This is a collection. The Beloved Works of C.S. Lewis, Surprised by Joy, Reflection of the Psalms, The Four Loves, and The Business of Heaven. I haven't read a whole lot of this one. The Mere Christianity, so I have read that cover to cover, and then also Screwtape Letters. So Screwtape Letters is a really innovative piece where he writes from the perspective of the devil. To Kill a Mockingbird, I've read this, and also we'll be doing this in the book club in upcoming months. I'm not going to go through each one. Ovid Metamorphosis. I have not read that, so I have a couple of Steinbecks up here. The one that we recently read in book club was East of Eden. I really enjoyed that. Okay, next we're going to bring up Dracula by Bram Stoker. So we just finished that in book club, and that was a really good novel. It was genuinely scary, but just with the writing style, with the journal entries, it's really well done. Catcher in the Rye, J.D. Salinger. I like this. It's a hardback, hardcover. Not sure which edition this will be considered. But this, big fan of this book. Read that when I was younger, and then we reread it for book club. And then we also read Salinger's 9 Stories, which was excellent. A couple of Mark Twain's here. So this edition, this is Mark Twain's The Adventures of Tom Sawyer. So this is from 1917. So this is probably my oldest book I have here. So I have a few Twain, and I have a few older ones in that collection. I also have a Life on the Mississippi, Mark Twain. And we'll just do one last one. Kurt Vonnegut's Welcome to the Monkey House. I've not read that one. I've read Slaughterhouse 5, which we should have that here. So I've read Slaughterhouse 5, Kurt Vonnegut. I have not read Welcome to the Monkey House. So again, this is a combination of to-be-reads and also ones that we have read. So I hope you enjoy the tour of the classics, and look forward to talking to you soon.